Magandang araw! Did you know that you can actually paint without the use of brushes? Yes, you've heard that right. Today, we will try to paint without the use of brushes, but with just our bare hands and our fingers. So tell me when you're ready, because I'm very excited to do our painting session for today. Before we start painting, make sure na you're with your parents right now. This activity will be much fun if you have someone to do it with you. So call someone now and let's do the activity together. For this activity, you will be needing the following materials. First, acrylic paints or any paints that comes from a tube or a jar. You can also use gouache or poster paints if you have some. Next is these canisters. You will be needing these canisters to put in your paints and mix with water so that we will have a much better consistency. You will be also needing a mixing palette. This mixing palette where you will mix your paint with your fingers. But for this instance, I will use this carton box, this carton plate, so that we can conserve water then. Okay? Para eco-friendly ang ating project. If you don't want to get mess in your hands, you can use plastic bag. But I won't advise you to do so because we need to conserve and protect our nature. That's why we won't use plastic for this project. What you can do is enjoy having mess in your hands or put some paper in your working area. So you can put some paper or old newspapers in your working area so that you can avoid mess. You can also wear apron to avoid mess on your shirt. Make sure that you are supervised by your parents while we are doing the activity. So are you ready? Alright. Wait, I almost forgot. The most important thing that you need in this project is your hands and your fingers. So make sure that you wash them before you start doing this activity. I will start by pouring in some paint onto my canisters. So I put in green and I want a bit of, let's see, what color should I use? I want to use yellow as well. There you go. Now, what I will do is I will pour in some water, just a tiny bit of water, in those canisters. Oops, that's too much. Let's put it on the other canister. And there you go. Now with a brush, because we won't be doing art pa, let's conserve our hands in the actual activity, for the actual activity rather, to mix the water and the paint together. In doing so, we will have a better consistency for the paint. So the paint will be just the right amount of thickness and viscosity. So hindi siya masyadong malapot at okay ang kanyang consistency. We will do the same to the other color. Let's wash our brush first. That's better. Then we will mix the yellow paint with the water. Isn't it fun mixing paint? Okay. You are free to choose kung anong color ang gagamitin ninyo for this activity. Just make sure that you get help from your parents when mixing the paint to avoid spilling the paint in your workstation. Okay. Are you done? Have some spare tissue on the side so that you can wipe your hands from time to time. You can also use clothes that are not being used so that you can wipe your hands from time to time. Okay, now that you have diluted your paint or mixed water with your paint, pour it in your mixing plate like that. So you have, and pour this one on the other side. So we can dip our hands freely with the paint. But if you have many canisters, washable canisters such as this, you can use these kinds of canister. Okay, so we will do the same with the other colors that we have. So let's now mix some paint. Now I'm done mixing my paints and I added in blue and some red orange on my plate. Make sure that your paint is not too runny or else it will ruin your painting. So konting tubig lang talaga just to add some movement to the paint. Huwag masyadong malapot or thick. Just imagine how your shampoo runs when you pour it from the bottle. Dapat ganun lang, okay? Now, what are the things that we can do with our hands? Well, aside from that, we use this for writing, for eating, for molding clays, or tearing papers, we can also use our hands in painting. Not just with a brush, but literally our own bare hands in painting. So let's start. You can use almost all the sides of your hands in painting. For example, I want my hands to be covered with paint. So let's take our used paper and pour in some paint. Dagdagan pa natin. Mukhang kulang eh. There you go. Then let's mix some water in. Then we can also use our used paper as a mixing plate. Okay? Now, sir, bakit niyo po binubuhos yung paint sa paper? Because we can use our whole hand sa pag-paint. Let's spread this muna. Spread. Spread. Then, once that the paint is spread, we'll get as much paint as we want. Then we will use that to paint on our painting paper. Pwedeng cardboard or anything, or something like this. Let's sit for a while. Diba? That's cool. Okay, let's try to add in some details. Okay. Oh, that's my hand right there. Diba? That's amazing. Now, hindi lang ang ating palm ang pwedeng gamitin. We can also use the side of our hands. Okay, this part. So we will pour in some paint. Okay, notice that I'm pouring the paint sa paper bago ako magpinta because I'm using bigger parts of my hands na hindi kasya sa ating mixing palette. Okay? So we'll just mix this one and get some paint. Then we can actually put this here. Let's put it somewhere else. Like this. Diba? We created various shapes using just parts of our body. Now, let's use some other parts of our body such as our pinky finger. Let's use orange here. Okay, I'm dabbing in my finger. Then I'm going to paint a beak right there. Okay? I also want to paint something like this right here. Okay? May nakikita ba kayong image? Okay. Titingnan natin mamaya kung ano yung image na yun. Now, we will use our other fingers. These 3 fingers. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. That's right. Diba? Nakakagawa tayo ng various shapes gamit lamang ang ating fingers. So, let's wipe our hands or wash our hands if you want to. Okay. If you have some wet wipes, pwede rin naman. Now, I'll use this one. I'm going to get yellow and I can mix it with green right here on my mixing palette. So, we will be making trees. Pwede rin naman ang ating thumb. Okay, let's proceed. I'm getting ulit this part. Gonna wipe that part. Notice the formation of my hands, ha? There. Okay. Then we will add some yellow. Pwede nating i-wipe or pwedeng better nga kung dab lang like this. Then using the side of her pinky finger, we will be doing this. Mommies, make sure that the paint that you are using is safe for the skin. Okay? Some children have allergies in paint. So make sure that you use acrylic or poster paints para po hindi ma-allergy ang ating mga kids. Okay, so those are the things that we can do with our hand. Diba? Almost all the parts of our hand ay nagamit natin in painting. Okay, I painted the tree with the duck. Now, can you do better than my painting? Kaya ba? Okay, sige. I'll finish this one first, then we will proceed to our actual artwork. Okay, when we will be painting our artworks na, make sure that your other hand is free from mess so that you can hold things while you are painting. Okay, so we will just develop the parts ng ating painting na ito with our fingers. Okay, so I painted a duck with his wings here. Okay, then some. Okay, in just 5 minutes or 10 minutes, we actually did a painting. Now, what more if I will give you time and you will have time with your parents to do finger painting. Now, let's clean our work area and let us now try to create our painting with the things that you've learned in this session. So, to recap, first you need to dilute your paints. Pour it in a mixing plate or a wide paper where you can get messy with, or in a mixing palette like this. You can also use any sides of your hands, from your thumb, fingers, pinky, the side of your hands, this one, and the whole hand itself, the palm itself. So you can use any of that. Okay, so before we proceed, wash your hands and let's get ready to create our artwork. Before we proceed, take a look at these patterns. You can arrange the shapes and the colors made from your fingers through these assortments. You can create a dial pattern or any pattern using your thumb. You can arrange them in any manner that you want. You can draw a shape using your finger. So you will use it like a brush and brush it all over the paper and create your shape. You can also create lines using your whole finger by imprinting it like that and create wonderful patterns that includes your fingerprint. Isn't that cool? You can also create swirls by doing the same thing with the shapes, just by brushing your finger with paint, and voila. You can also create organic forms such as these wonderful waves that, using this side of my hand, I imprinted that with white and blue and I created these cool organic looking shapes. So are you ready? Okay. Make sure that you add some creativity to your work. These arrangements won't matter if you don't have creativity with you. Are you ready? Okay, let's paint our own fingerprint artwork. Let's clean our table first. And get a new piece of paper. There. Using a masking tape, cover the edges of the paper so that the paper won't be moved and magkaroon din ng space and outline sa ating paper. Now, please cover all the sides like what I am doing on this top side. Ask your parents to help you out with this one. Okay, para malinis ang pagkakagawa. Now, I'm done covering all the sides with paper tape. Are you done with yours? If not, I will give you time to do and put paper tape on all the sides of your paper. Are you done? Okay, now let's see who makes the better artwork. Is it you or me? Let's get it on. No peeking. I'm just kidding. You may see my artwork as I am doing it and see if you're doing the right thing as well. But don't worry, there's no right way of doing this and there is actually no wrong way doing this also. You can create anything that you want with your magical fingers and hands. So let's get it on. This pattern is called a symmetrical pattern. So I created identical pieces left and right. And there you go. How about you? How's your artwork going? That looks nice. That's great. Just continue what you are doing and try to explore other arrangements as well. I'm just gonna wipe my hands off. Okay. Now that my layer is now dry, I will add in some of the details that I want to put in. When your paint is dried up, you can use water to reactivate it. Or else you can add new paint on it para magamit ulit siya. I can mix with my hand too, di ba? Nagmi-mix ako ng paint using my fingers. Then I'll add green. Now, what's good with finger painting is that you can create textures with just your fingers. What do I mean by texture? Eh, hindi naman natin nahawakan yung painting kapag ganito, right? Wala naman siyang texture talaga like rough or soft. We have what we call visual texture. Yung nakikita mo, siya yung nagsasabi kung ano yung texture ng object. So, in creating patterns like this, you can create visual textures. For smaller details, you can use your pinky finger. Gonna outline the neck. Oops, malalaman nyo kung ano yung ginagawa ko. Just let that dry. Okay, then I'll proceed using some yellow paint and white. I will create a line here. Oops. Okay. There. Then using the red and orange, I will decorate this spot. Here. You can place anything randomly. You just let your artistry and creativity go as you paint. Okay. Wow! Nakikita nyo na ba kung ano yung gusto kong i-paint? How about your painting? Kamusta na ang inyong painting? How's your painting going? Right there. Now let's put the feet sideways. Okay. Then let's go with the feet, which is combined with white and yellow. So with the side of our pinky finger, I'll create this shape. Maybe a little more paint. I'm using my nail to outline the shape that I am doing. In this case, I'm adding a triangular shape. Adding in some blue on the side. So, brush it in, some blue. And then some greens right here. Some specks, green on your yellow. Now let's design this part. Okay, so let's put in some details. Now, who can guess the animal that I'm painting right now? Sino makakahula kung anong animal na pinipaint ko right now? Let's see the answers. That's right, tama. I am painting a peacock. An elegant peacock. Let's put in some eyelashes for our peacock. Using, I think, maybe red. And I'll paint it with the tip of my pinky finger. Just some details for this. Okay. Then let's fix the eyes. I want to put in blue, or the blue goes with blue. There. Let's fix the beak. Something like this. Okay. I'll mix in red and blue to create some violet. I think we're good to go. But this artwork is not finished yet. Okay, I want to design, I want to add in some elements sa baba. So I will create bushes means by brushing my pinky finger upward. Okay, good. You can try this also on your own, and you can also create your design as well. Then I will use my tiny finger nails to create some ferns or shapes na ganito. There. Okay. Then brush ng kaunti upwards. Upwards ng kaunti. Some reds para mag-darken ng kaunti. Magkaroon ng brown. Okay. Okay, then we will add some flowers. Gusto ko ng flowers kahit konti lang dito. Okay, I put in some dots, then some yellow on the center. Then I will put in, let's mix red and green, and we will get very good brown. Okay. We'll scrape off some colors. If we don't want the color to be in the painting, we can scrape it off with our fingers or cover it with green. Okay, para lumipis. I want to put in another flower on the other side. 1, 2, 3. 3 lang. Gusto ko 3 lang eh. Para I love you. There. Okay. This is my peacock, my finger painted peacock. How about you? Let us see your artwork. Your finger painting artwork for this session. After letting your artwork to dry, let's proceed to the most satisfying part. Make sure that when you peel your paper tape, outwards ang pag-peel para hindi magkaroon ng peeling sa paper like this. See the top part? Di ba meron parang mga peeling? Pero dito, sa mga maayos nating nahila, it's very good. It's very clean. Tcharan! Okay. Let me see your designs when you're done. That was a fun session with you kids. Kamusta ang inyong painting? Well, mine is not dried completely, but here it is. It is a peacock that I painted using my hands and my fingers only. But it's a sassy peacock. And so, with the eyelashes and etc. This is the painting that I did kanina, the duck, a simple duck, but I imprinted my brother's hands on this one. So I have a baby brother, 1-year-old baby brother, and I have his hands imprinted on this one. So I'll have it framed, and when he's older, he will ask, whose hands is that? I'll tell him that this is his hands when he was 1-year-old. Okay. Now, painting with your fingers is not that different with painting with brushes. The only difference is the media or the medium that you use to paint. But the creativity, the colors, the lines, and the experience is still there. It's still you. This is still your identity and your painting. So I hope you enjoyed today's session. Did you enjoy the session? I hope you enjoyed really this painting session that we had. And see you next time, I guess. Goodbye! Oh, by the way, before you turn off the computers and everything, don't forget to wash your dirty hands before touching something or eating. Goodbye!